Although holiday gatherings are going to look a lot different this year, that doesn't exclude a hearty holiday meal for you and your household, and even creating holiday to-go boxes to drop off to your loved ones. Today on City Chat. With holidays right around the corner, Sueco's communication manager, Hanna Greer-Brown, is here to talk about reducing food waste and how we can save more than just food. Hi, Hanna. Thank you so much for coming on into the show today.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to come on and talk about food waste and provide a few really simple tips that we can all use at home to reduce our food waste and divert it from the landfill.
That's awesome. Can you firstly tell us a little bit about Sueco?
Sure. So SWACO is the Solid Waste Authority of Central Ohio. A lot of people know us as the owner and operator of the Franklin County Sanitary Landfill. In addition to that, though, we do a whole host of other things. And a lot of those activities revolve around helping communities and schools and businesses and residents reduce their reliance on the landfill by doing more composting, recycling, and then just reducing less waste to begin with.
I see. And why have you guys chosen to focus mainly on food waste?
Yeah, so food waste is a big focus for us, as you just mentioned. And that really kind of came about because as the owner and the operator of the landfill, we did a study a couple of years ago where we looked at all of the material in the waste stream. And so we kind of took a sample of what residents and businesses were throwing away. And what we found was food waste is the number one item in Franklin County being thrown away. In fact, the landfill is receiving about 1 million pounds of it every single day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so not only is it the number one item being thrown away, it also presents the best opportunity for Sueco to reach its goal to divert more material from the landfill. And so that's why we're focused on it.
Yeah. And, this might be kind of a naive question, but, foods you kind of think are biodegradable, I guess. Is that the problem that you guys are seeing, or is it more of the containers that, people are throwing out?
Yeah, well, really, the whole kind of point of our new campaign, Save More Than Food, is that it's not so much a problem for the landfill. Of course, the landfill is engineered in a way that can handle that material and help it safely dispose and break down in the landfill. But really, the thought is that when we throw out the food on our plate, we're simply discarding all of the resources that went into producing it. And we're talking about billions of gallons of water being wasted on food that is produced but never eaten, thousands of dollars being spent by families in our community on food that they purchase but never eat. And so we really want to help divert that material away from the landfill and save more than food and save all of those resources.
Yeah, I never really thought of it like that. And so it's really interesting to be educated on that type of perspective because that makes total sense when you say it like that.
Yeah.
What impacts can residents and businesses have on our environment by, being more mindful of not wasting food?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, when we waste or when we throw away the food on our dinner plates, we're wasting all of those resources that went into producing it. And so we like to encourage residents to kind of employ a couple of really simple tips to reduce their food waste at home. And this is really applicable right now because we have the holidays coming up. It's kind of the end of the year. And so we know that the amount of waste that's being created in these kind of final months of the year typically goes up. And so in order to reduce food waste at home, we're just inviting residents to do meal planning. So make sure you're sitting down and have a plan for the foods that you want to either serve at that big holiday sit-down dinner that you're having with your close family, or just even for your weeknight meal plannings. Have a plan for that. And then when you go to the grocery store, have that meal plan in mind. Make sure you're shopping with a list and only buying the items that you need. And then when you bring those items home, store them properly so that you can extend their lives and extend the life of the food that you have and make sure you have a plan to eat it.
So it's kind of funny that we're talking about this because I'm a first-time mom. I gave birth March 24th.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you. Meal planning has been the biggest stressor. It shouldn't be, but it's at the end of the day, I'm so hungry. We end up doing Uber Eats or Grubhub and all this stuff. And we don't know how to like meal plan properly. And I know that that's kind of a challenge for some families. Like, I mean, it is kind of difficult, you know, like if you're making a pot roast and you buy like 2 pounds of meat or something, it's like you don't want to eat that for the rest of the week, but like,
right.
Is that what you're supposed to do? Like,
it gets boring quickly, doesn't it? That pot roast. Well, I mean, there are a couple of really easy things. So this website that we've developed, SaveMoreThanFood.org, has a couple of really unique tips or tools on there, I guess I should say. One of them is called the Guesstimator. And so you can use this tool, and I encourage everybody to go and check it out. I use it all the time. You can actually, plug in that you want to serve that pot roast, right?
Yeah.
And it will help you figure out, based on the number of people that you want to serve, the number of sides that you want to have with it. And then it helps you calculate whether you want leftovers or not. So if you only want to eat pot roast one time, it'll help you figure this out. It then gives you a shopping list that tells you how many pounds of pot roast do you buy? How many, do you need a bag of carrots or just a couple of carrots? And so it will help you kind of right size your meal plan for the week. And that way you only buy what you need. And I hear you. I mean, so many of us struggle with sitting down on, over the weekend when we're already busy to kind of come up with our plan for the week. But it really is an important action to take if we want to get serious about reducing our food waste throughout the week.
That is awesome. This is why I love doing City Chat, because I, bring my real life problems to you. You said what was the website again?
Go to SaveMoreThanFood.org.
Okay, got it. And so this is just kind of a side question. Like, since the pandemic has hit, have you guys seen a rise in food waste just because of like Grubhub and, DoorDash services like that?
Well, certainly our waste hauling partners, so think of, the Rumpke's and the Local Waste and others who pick up your trash at the curb every week, they're reporting significant increases in the amount of trash at the curb every week. They've seen, upwards of 20-25% additional trash. So that we haven't actually seen or been able to document that yet at the landfill, but I would say absolutely the waste hauling partners are seeing an increase. I mean, and not so much because of carry out, but just the fact that we're all staying home more. So many of us kind of in those early months were, cleaning out closets and garages and basements and things of that nature. And that just kind of all led to additional trash at the curb.
That's interesting. What's the cost of food waste, and how does throwing food away impact our economy?
Yeah, I mean, so I mentioned we're throwing away nearly 1 million pounds of food every single day. When you break that down to the individual level, it means a family of 4 is wasting $1,500 a year on food that they purchase but never eat. And so when you sit back and think about that, I mean, that's a mortgage payment for most families or a couple of car payments. And so that's money that we could easily save if we just kind of shop smarter and have a plan for that food and avoid that waste.
That's so cool. I'm so excited about all this information. You talked about the resources, going to the website, the Guesstimator thing that I'm definitely going to check out after this. But are there additional resources or anything that you want to let the public know, and just more information about what you guys are talking about and what you stand for?
Yeah, I mean, there are all kinds of resources there. So this isn't a program that's just applicable to residents. If you're a school or a local business who might be interested in reducing food waste, we have all kinds of resources there and information that you can download. I would also say, we are headed into the holiday season. We've got a couple of recipes on that website to help you kind of turn stale bread into stuffing or other kind of more seasonal type recipes for this time of year. Yeah. So go there and check those things out as well. That
is really, really neat. Thank you so much, Hanna, for coming on and just giving us all this cool information. It's so nice to have a solution for a big problem.
Yeah, it is an issue facing all of us, and we all have to kind of do our part. So I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about it, and I hope people will check that website out.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
I'm Josie Smith. Thanks for watching City Chat on CTV, and have a safe and happy holiday.